Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So being Saturday here in US evening and Sunday morning in India. So we are in the 6th chapter. We finished 16 slokas in the 6th chapter. So in the 6th chapter, Krishna is actually teaching us about the Dhyana Yoga. In fact, Arjuna only asked the question in the first chapter, in the very first sloka. For that, Krishna is answering. So in the first chapter itself, 28 slokas. So totally 29 slokas in the 5th chapter. So in the 5th chapter, 28 slokas Krishna gave the knowledge, and Krishna is continuing in the 6th chapter. So this is 32 slokas. So totally 60 slokas. So 60 slokas Krishna is answering Arjuna's one question. So that is, which is better, giving up the work or doing the work? So Krishna immediately said that we have to do the work. So then afterwards Krishna is teaching us about the, now in the 6th chapter, about the mind control. So this is a very important subject we need to know. In fact, the only subject what we need to know about this is this controlling mind. That's what is very, very important. Because if our mind is controlled, then we achieved everything, whatever we need. So that is the only achievement what we need to get. Our mind should be under our control. So our mind should not be thinking about anything else. It should be under our control. So that means our mind should be thinking about only Krishna. So when we are able to focus our mind only on Krishna, we will be able to control our mind. So that's what very important we need to understand. So that is the only way we can control our mind. Our mind should be focused only on Krishna. And Krishna and his name are not different. So when we say Krishna, Krishna is there. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna is there when we say Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna is there. So that way when we say Hare Krishna, so we are actually remembering Krishna. That's what is very important. We are actually connecting ourselves with Krishna. Our mind is actually connected with Krishna. So that's why Krishna said that Manas Samyamya Matchito Yukta Asita Matparaka. So you control your mind by thinking about me. So in the last few classes, I was explaining about the importance of mind as the chief sense, very important sense with which actually we can see the soul. With other senses, we cannot see the soul. If you want to say that I will believe in soul only if I can see the soul with my eyes, so we are never going to see and we are not going to believe it, not going to accept it. But with mind, we can see the soul. With mind, we should actually, because when our mind is peaceful, so that means we are seeing the soul. When our mind is, this so-called happiness which is coming out with sense enjoyment, with external sense objects, so that time, so that kind of peace what we are getting in our mind, it is not a real peace of mind. Because there is only sense pleasure, there is only sensory perceptions. So that kind of happiness what we are getting because of the sensory perceptions. So for example, if we eat some very sweet food, if we eat sweet, so we feel very happy because we like it, because we are enjoying it. So it is sweet, we like it. So but that is coming because we are tasting the sweet, and when we put the sweet in our mouth, so there are taste buds. So that receptors in our tongue. So basically they taste it. So that's why the signal is going to brain. So we are able to feel the sweetness of the food what we eat. But that kind of enjoyment, actually only during the time that sweet is there in our tongue, we will be able to taste it. That's it. We'll be able to enjoy at that point of time. But we cannot keep on eating for that, because there is no other way. If we just keep on eating, then we will die. So the sugar also, because there is so much of mechanisms happening in our body. So glycolysis and all such things to control, to convert the sugar into energy, all such things. So insulin, all such things, then diabetes, all kinds of problems. Especially this diabetes causes many problems. It causes kidney problems, eye problems, stroke, everything. So the diabetes and blood pressure, so these two things create a lot of problems. So that way, the so-called sense enjoyment, what we get with material sense objects, so they don't really bring us ultimate happiness. But if our mind is satisfied with what we have, if our mind is not disturbed by anything in this world, so if we are able to focus only on Krishna all the time, so that kind of happiness which we are getting it from our mind, so that from the peace of our mind, so that is going to be permanent, that is going to stay forever. So we should be able to distinguish, differentiate these two kinds of happiness or enjoyment what we are getting from the material sense objects and from within ourselves. So not going after material sense objects, not getting affected by the results of the activities. So just by doing that, we are going to be happy. That's what we need to understand. So the happiness, so when we go after the material sense objects, when we try to enjoy those sense objects, so then we think that we are happy. But if you are not attached to those sense enjoyment, if you are not attached to those sense objects, so at that point of time, our mind is very peaceful because it is not affected by that. So at that time, we are also going to get happiness. So the happiness of not enjoying, not getting attached to the material sense objects, so that is the real happiness. So because when our mind is not attached to the material sense objects, that means we are actually attached to Krishna. We are connected with Krishna. So when we are connected with Krishna, our mind is very peaceful. So then at that point of time, we can actually lead a very happy life. So that's what Jitatmanaga Prashantasya. So that is known as Prashanta. So that Prashanta is the peace, that peace of mind. So Jitatmanaga. So Jitatmanaga means when we conquer our mind, when our mind is controlled by us, when our mind is under our control. So at that time, we are going to get that peace of mind. So that is the real happiness. So that way, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we should understand. So that is called Atma Sukham. Atma Sukham, Atma Santushcha, Atma Tripti, all such things. So that means we are actually not going after material sense objects. We are not getting affected by anything in this material world. We are not focusing our mind on anything that is material. So our mind is fully focused, our mind is fully connected only with Krishna. So that is called the real happiness. So that is called the real peace of mind. So when we get that kind of peace of mind, we will be constantly connected with Paramatma, the super soul. So Jitatmanaga Prasantasya Paramatma Samahitaga. So we will be able to realize Paramatma. We will be able to enjoy, we will be able to connect ourselves with the super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, when we are able to conquer our mind. So that's what we are studying. That's what we are repeatedly studying in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is teaching us that you conquer your mind, you control your mind. So make your mind as your best friend. Because if you don't do so, then your mind will remain the worst enemy. So that is the way to achieve the yoga, the status of yoga. So that is the way to achieve the status of yoga, means not getting disturbed by anything happening in this material world. There's so many things are happening, which are all beyond our control. Nobody can control anything in this world. Everything is the part of, everything is controlled by the nature, controlled by the prakriti, controlled by the modes of nature. Everything is happening. So our goal, our way of life should be in such a way that we should not be attached to anything. We should actually ourselves disconnect from all these things. That's what is very important. It's very, very important. It's very scientific. That's what we studied in the 13th chapter. Krishna taught us very clearly. So Krishna told us very clearly that aratihi jana samsati. So one should lead a life in a solitary place. So all such things. So that way, tulya ninda suti mauni. So one should be mauni, means should not talk too much. So all such things are very important qualities of the devotees, basically. So that is, if you have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we should not be talking rubbish things. We should not be talking useless things. It has no value, it has no meaning. Whatever happens in the world, whatever the news, whatever this and that, all such things are all useless. We should focus our mind only on Krishna only. Anything related to Krishna, we can talk. So that's what Matchitta. So Matchitta, Madgata, Prana, Bodhayantaka Parasparam. So always enlighten one another by thinking about me, by discussing about me, by conversing about me. That's what Krishna is saying. So such talks we can do. We can talk about it. But we should not be talking useless things in this material way. So all such things are possible only when we get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. When we get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, when we understand this Bhagavad Gita, we will be able to free ourselves from this material world completely. That should happen when we actually live in this world. When we live in this world, when we are inside this body, we should be able to achieve that life of not getting ourselves connected with anything in this world, not getting ourselves affected by anything in this world. So just by the virtue of this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, being ourselves connected with Krishna all the time, so by remembering Krishna, by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, by offering prasadam unto Krishna, by doing everything for Krishna, so all the time Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Krishna only should be everywhere. Wherever we see, whichever direction we turn, whichever activity we do, everything there should be Krishna. Only Krishna should be there. So all our activities should be Krishna centric. So that's what is very important. Krishna centric. So Krishna should be in the center. So this is called Krishnaism. So our religion is actually, it is Krishnaism. So that way, if Krishna, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, because Krishna is the Purushottam. So tatosmi loke vedecha pratitaga purushottam. Yasmaksharam atitogam aksharattapicha uttamaga. Tatosmi loke vedecha pratitaga purushottama. So I am above all. So Krishna is above all. So there is nothing else which is superior than Krishna. Mattaga parataram na anyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. There is nothing else is there which is superior to me. That's what Krishna is saying. So Krishna is everything. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So our mind should be always focused only on Krishna, remembering Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, offering prasadam unto Krishna, studying Bhagavad Gita, spreading Bhagavad Gita. So that way our life should be all the time in Krishna consciousness. If you are able to achieve that kind of life, that is going to be possible only with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that means if you are able to study and understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, then if you are able to follow what all Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, So if we are able to follow Krishna's guidance, instructions completely, so then we will be able to achieve that kind of life where we are always remembering Krishna, doing everything for Krishna, not getting affected by anything in this material way. So because Krishna is not idle, Krishna is actually taking care of us. Krishna is doing lot of things. Krishna is arranging lot of things. So that way we should completely surrender ourselves unto Krishna. Vasudevam sarvam iti. That's what is very important. Bahunam janmanam ante ज्ञानवान् मां प्रपद्यते वासुदेवं सर्वं इति समहात्मा सुदुर्लभः. So bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapatyate. So we should surrender. So we really don't have to take many lives. Actually, this life itself, we should understand. We should study Bhagavad Gita again and again and again. What we are doing, like every day we are studying Bhagavad Gita, we are progressing. So we are enjoying, we are relishing, we are tasting this nectar of instruction, this Bhagavad Gita. So that way, when we get this knowledge fully, when we are able to understand that Vasudeva is everything, Krishna is everything, Vasudevam Sarvamiti. So then we can actually surrender unto Krishna, Jnanavan Mam Prabhatate. So if we do that, so then we can actually go to Krishna. We will be able to lead a Krishna conscious life. We'll be able to elevate ourselves to the Brahma Bhuta platform. So then we don't have to come back to this material world because we don't have to do anything in this material world. That's what is very important. So that means we have to disconnect ourselves from everything in this material world. Then only we don't have to do anything in this material world. If we are keep on ourselves concentrating on all the day-to-day activities, spending a lot of time reading the news, this, that, and watching games, all these things are all totally waste, useless. They are not going to take us to Krishna. We need to understand. So only by studying Bhagavad Gita, teaching Bhagavad Gita, spreading Bhagavad Gita, and chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and making prasadam and offering prasadam unto Krishna, and so spreading this Krishna's message, Bhagavad Gita. So all these things only are going to take us to Krishna. So that way we should do the activities which are conducive for liberation actually. We should not be doing anything which are going to bind us more into this material world. Then the problem is that we can never go back to Krishna. Never we can get out of this material world. We can never go to Krishna if we don't make use of this life. So in the 6th chapter, Krishna is teaching us very clearly that one should control the mind. So, samam kaya siro grivam dharayan achalam stiraga samprekshya nasikagram swam disaschanavalokayan prashantatma vigathabir brahmachari vrate stitaga Manasamyamya matchito yukta sita matparaga. So we should sit straight. Don't look at any other directions. Keep our body, neck and head, everything in a straight line. And just look towards the tip of the nose. Don't look at any other directions. And by practicing celibacy, by freeing ourselves from fear. So prashantatma vigatta bigi brahmachari vrate stitaga. Manasamyamya matchitto yukta asita matparaga. So control your mind by keeping me as your destination. So by focusing your mind on me, by thinking about me, you control your mind. That's what Krishna taught us. Yunjanyevam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasaga shantim nirvana paramam matsamstam adhigacchati. So if you do that, sadatmanam, yunjanyevam sadatmanam, the same word Krishna, same sloka, same line in another sloka also in the 6th chapter, Krishna uses the word. So there Krishna says, yunjanyevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmasaga. So here Krishna is saying that yunjanyevam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasaga. So niyata manasaga means by regulating our mind. Vigata kalmasaga means by freeing, after regulating our mind, we will free ourselves from all sinful reactions. Vigata kalmasaga. So there Krishna says that upaiti shanta rajasam brahma bhutam akalmasam. So by freeing ourselves from the Rajoguna, we will go to Brahma Bhuta level by freeing from all the sinful reactions. So here Krishna is saying that Shantim Nirvana Parama Matsamstam Adhikachati. So by realizing, by experiencing the supreme peace of mind, so they will attain my abode. So Matsamstam Adhikachati. That's what Krishna is saying. But to do that, what we finished in the last sloka, last week in the 16th sloka in the 6th chapter, Krishna said very clearly that Nati Ashnatastu Yogosti Nachaikanta Manasnataga Nachati Swaprasilasya Jagratho Naiva Charjuna. That's what we finished. So Ati Ashnatastu, na Ati Ashnatastu, one should not eat too much. One should not eat too little. One should not sleep too much. One should not sleep too little. All such things. So now studying in the sloka number 17, what we are continuing in the 6th chapter. So 17th sloka, Krishna is continuing. Yuktahara vigharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodasya yogo bhavati dukkha. That's what in the 6th chapter, 17th sloka, Krishna is teaching us. There is yukta ahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodasya yogi bhavati dukkha. So ahara, so that is the food. So ahara, that is yukta, means regulating. So in the next sloka, Krishna is going to teach us what is meant by yukta. So ahara means our eating and the recreation, viharasya, recreational activities. And then yukta chestasya karmasu, so all our activities, all our other activities, maintenance activities. So yukta chestasya karmasu. Yukta swapna vabodasya. So yukta swapna vabodasya means swapna, sleeping above avabodasya. So it is wakefulness, sleeping and wakefulness. So yukta swapna vabodasya. Yogo bhavati dukkha. So when we do our yoga, that means when we control our mind, all our distress will be minimized. Our distress will be completely gone. So we can mitigate all our material pains. So that's why yogo bhavati dukkha ha. Dukkha will be ha. Dukkha will be killed. So dukkha will be gone. Dukkha will be destroyed. So that's why dukkha ha. Yogo bhavati dukkha ha. So Krishna is teaching that he who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So that's what is going to happen when we study this Bhagavad Gita and then follow all the instructions given by Krishna. And when we control our mind, so then we will be able to regulate our activities, daily activities. Unfortunately, in today's world, because of so much materialistic way of acting, we are forced to work, not able to sleep enough. Night comes means it is for us to sleep. Just because we invent a light, we cannot simply keep ourselves awake all the time. That's not good for us. Because our brain needs rest. Our brain needs rest means our brain will not take rest. Our brain will be working. But it needs us to sleep. It needs us, our body needs rest. So at that time, our brain can do all the other repair work, whatever is needed. So that's why we need to sleep enough. It's very important. So in this sloka, next sloka, in sloka number 18, Krishna is teaching us, giving us the definition of yukta. Yada viniyatham chittam atmanyeva avatishtate nishpurgaga sarvakamebhyo yukta ituchyate tatha. So yada tada. So yada viniyadam chittam atmanyeva avatishtade. So one who is able to keep his thoughts within the self. So that means it should not go anywhere else. We should not be thinking about anything else. We should not be thinking about anything else in this material world. We should be thinking about only Krishna. So that's what within the self. Within the self means our super soul. See, Krishna is there within our body, and Krishna is the supreme personality of God. So Krishna is asking us to remember him all the time. So our chittam should be Ananyas Chinta. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. That's what Krishna is saying there. So this Chinta, Chitta, Chinta, all are same. So Chinta means our thinking, our thoughts. So ananyas, without deviation, ananyas chintayanto mam. So that's what here yada viniyadam chitta means bring back our consciousness, our thoughts, everything from the material sense objects and focus on Krishna. So nisprigaga sarva kamebhyo. So by freeing ourselves from without any desire. Nisprigaga means free from desires, devoid of desires. So sarva kamebhyo. So means from all desires. So by giving up all desires, sarva kamebhyo. So nisprigaga sarva kamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tata. So that is known as yukta. That is called as yukta. Yukta ityuchyate tada. So that's what we are studying and understanding. So that is known as yukta. So yada viniyadam chittam. So yoga means siddhya siddhyo samobhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So in order to achieve the yoga, we need to actually do yukta. If we do yukta, then we will be able to achieve yoga. So that's what is very important. So yukta means by controlling our thoughts, bringing everything under the control of the self, by focusing on Krishna. So if we do that, if we do yukta, so that means we will achieve yoga. So if you don't do yukta, nasti buddhi ayuktasya. So if we don't do this, in the second chapter we studied. So if we don't control, if we don't bring our mind under the control, our thoughts under the control of the self, so we are going to lose intelligence. So that's what very important. Nasti buddhi. Nasti buddhi ayuktasya nacha ayuktasya bhavana nacha abhavayataka santi asantasya kutasukam. So then there is no intelligence, no steady mind. So then there is no peace of mind. When there is no peace of mind, where from happiness comes? That's what Krishna is teaching. So that way we need to study this Bhagavad Gita and follow what Krishna says. So control our mind. So then we can achieve peace of mind. So in the next sloka, in the sloka number 19, Krishna is teaching us that Yatha dipo nivatasto nengate sopama smrita yogino yatha chittasya yunjato yogamatmanaga. So how a deepa means deepa means a lamp. Nivatasto, so in a place without wind. Nivatasto means in a windless place. So how a lamp in a windless place? That's what yatha deepo nivatasto nengate means it does not waver. Na ingate means it does not waver. Nengate. So just like a lamp in a windless place does not waver. So similarly, sopama smrta. So similarly, it is understood that yogino yatha chittasya. So yogi is chitta, means thoughts. So they should not waver. So our thoughts should not go here and there. Our thoughts should be only on Krishna. So that's what manas samyamya mat chittho. So the same thing chitta. So mat chitta. So here yatha chitta. So yatha chittasya, yogino yatha chittasya. So the yogi's thoughts does not waver, just like a lamp in a windless place does not waver, because the yogi's thoughts are on Krishna, matchitta. So matchitta madgata prana. So matchitta madgata prana, manas samyamya matchitto, matchittaga sarva durgani, matprasada tarisyasi. So all these things Krishna is teaching. I'm connecting slokas from different chapters. So in one chapter, in the sixth chapter, Krishna is teaching us that manas samyamya matchitto. So you control your mind by thinking about me. So in the 10th chapter, Krishna is teaching us that Machitta Madgata Prana. So in the 9th sloka, in the 10th chapter, Machitta Madgata Prana. So Machitta, by thinking about me, by dedicating their lives unto me. So Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayantaka Parasparam. So similarly, in the 18th chapter, Krishna is saying that so Machittaga Sarva Durgani Matprasada Tarishaji. If anyone thinks about me all the time, then by my mercy, all their problems, miseries, everything will be solved, everything will be destroyed. So that way, this Machitta is very important. So focusing our thoughts on Krishna is very important. So that's what yogino yatha chittasya yunjato yoga matmanaga. So the yogi's chitta, so their chitta, their thoughts should be only on Krishna. So just like a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so our thoughts should not waver and it should be focused only on Krishna. So yunjato yoga matmanaga. So that's why Krishna is teaching us, as a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendental self. So that's what Krishna is teaching. So the next slokas, next sloka number 20, 21, 22, 23. So basically 4 slokas are coming together. So we will study next week. That's a very important slokas. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we finished 3 slokas today. That is sloka number 17 to 19. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji.